Hello my beans and nuggets, welcome back to my channel. It's me, your girl Jasmine, back at it again with yet another video. I know, look at that, me actually staying consistent for once. Kind of have like an irregular posting schedule right now, but hey, at least I'm posting something. But I thought for today's video we would go ahead and go over the new Natasha Denona Face Glam palette. I did purchase both of them during the Sephora sale, so that's exciting. I also don't know how, but I ended up getting like the last two that were in my store, and then they ended up going out of stock for like a while on the website and also in store. So I was super excited that I got my hands on them. If this is something that you're interested in watching, then stay tuned. I also don't know what my hair is doing in this video, so just ignore that. But these are the face palettes. I said in my haul video that these kind of remind me of like something from Star Wars. I don't know why, but they do. So this is the light face palette. It looks like this. Very reflective, obviously. And here are the shades that are inside. Now I've obviously already, tried this out so that I could do a review for you guys. We're also going to go into some comparisons as well with the other palettes. Here is the dark palette. Now I have not worn the eyeshadows on this yet, but I have swatched them and, they swatch really nicely. So I'm going to show you again what they look like together next to each other, just so you kind of have an idea. So let me tell you, first off, we'll discuss my thoughts on these palettes. So I'm actually very happy with these palettes. I believe that these retailed for somewhere between $52 and $59. I thought that that was actually a pretty fair price considering it's a Natasha Denona palette. You are getting 5 mini eyeshadows, or just 5 eyeshadows that are kind of a smaller size, and then a blush and also a highlighter. So I initially was not going to purchase these, and then a lot of people were raving about them and they were saying that these were so good, that the textures in some of the eyeshadows were very different from what she normally does. So, I was kind of sucked in. That happens to me a lot, if you didn't notice already. And also this blush formula seemed very different than what I had typically seen. I heard people saying that it was just very unique. It wasn't like a cream, it wasn't like a powder, it was kind of like a hybrid of the two together. And the highlighters, I knew Natasha always kills it with the highlighters, so I was like, yep, okay. And I am wearing not both palettes. I am wearing both palettes because I mixed both of the highlighters together, but I mean, I think it looks nice. But the reason why I wanted to purchase both of them is obviously they have a different color story for each palette. They're not the same. And I really liked both of them. I thought the blush shade on this one was beautiful as well on the dark palette, and the highlighter was really pretty also. I was kind of worried that there would be crossed shades, like shared shades between the two palettes, but shockingly enough, there are not. I know that sometimes companies will do that and then it's really frustrating because like maybe you, like in this case for me, maybe I wanted to buy both palettes, but then let's say that there's like 3 of the same shades in both palettes, and it's kind of like, well, there's not really a point in me spending money on that, extra money on that palette if there's going to be shared shades for the majority of the palette. So I'm really glad that she made different colors in both of the palettes. I really appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get into some swatches of this palette. So like I said, this blush right here, you can see it kind of looks like it has hard pan. It's just such a weird, unique formula. I really don't know how to describe it because it really does feel like powder, but it also feels like cream. So this is a really beautiful shade. Of course, I threw the box away already, and I don't really know. This doesn't really have a shade name, although I will say it does say cream blush on the palette. So I'll tell you that. So this is what the blush looks like. It actually looks like it's a little bit patchy, but it's really weird because like once you blend it out, it looks really nice. I'm wearing the blush today. So that is the blush. Now we're gonna go into the highlighter, which is called Star Glow. This is so beautiful. That is what the highlighter looks like. So I'll go into comparisons with the other palette in a second. Actually, no, I'll just go ahead and show you right now. So this is from the light palette. So now we're gonna go into the dark palette. I'm gonna swatch the blush in this palette. Yeah, it's just such a weird, unique formula. Like, I got nervous at first because I was like, oh my god, is this patchy? Like, are you serious? But it's actually not once blended out. So these two on the bottom here are from the dark palette. So the top two are from the light palette, the bottom two are from the dark palette. So you can obviously see that there are differences between the two. The bottom one is a deeper shade and the highlighter is a deeper shade as well. So there's that. And let's go ahead and get into the swatches of the eyeshadows. So I'm gonna wipe off the blush and the highlighter swatches. And I don't know if I said in the beginning of the video, I'm pretty sure I did, but I am wearing the light palette on my eyes as well as on my face for the blush and the highlighter. I'm trying not to look at my monitor as much because I notice I do that a lot during my videos and that's kind of annoying. I'm telling you, these shimmer shades, unreal. Like, I feel like I haven't really seen that much in her palettes so far from the collection of palettes that I have, which I have quite a few of them because I collect Natasha palettes and Pat McGrath palettes. But these foil shades, insane. And these are pretty pigmented as well. So this is the eyeshadows that you get in the light palette. Yeah, as you can see, these shimmer shades are really intense. They're so beautiful. I am wearing this one right here on my inner lid, and then I have a couple of the other shades blended in my crease and then also in the outer corner. I didn't really have any issues with blending when it comes to these eyeshadows. I mean, that was kind of a given because Natasha shadows, for the most part, are pretty good and easily blendable. Should not have any issues with them. So I really enjoyed these. I know that they look like basic colors. Okay, I get that, but like, sometimes you just need the basic colors. So let's go ahead now and swatch the dark palette shadows. These are just so stunning. I can't believe I didn't even really think to buy these palettes before. And of course I had FOMO, fear of missing out. But wow, wow, wow. So these are the shades for the darker palette. Very pretty again as well. And I haven't used it yet, like I said, for the shadows, but I can only assume that those will be easily blendable as well, just because the first one, you know, blended pretty easily. So now let's go ahead and get into some comparisons. So as I said before, I was kind of worried, or I can't remember if I said this or not. I literally have short-term memory loss. I was kind of worried that when purchasing these palettes, there would be shade crossovers between her other palettes. I do have the Glam palette. That's why I actually didn't want to purchase these to begin with, because I was like, I already have the Glam palette. Those shades are probably pulled from that palette, and you know, it is what it is, just with a blush and a highlighter thrown in there. I was wrong. That's not the case at all. So let me go ahead and show you the Glam palette. So it looks like this, the Glam eye palette, and these are the shades that come in the Glam eye palette. Okay, so when I looked at this palette, there's obviously not the same finishes, like these sparkly, shimmery, metallic-y finishes. There's some like metallic type shades in here, like some shimmer shades, but they're nowhere on the same level as the Face Glam palettes. So there's also not really too many similar shades that I can see. There's maybe like a couple, but I'm going to put the Glam palette with the Face Glam palette so you can kind of see shade comparisons, and you can see that there's really not much similarity going on between these two. And if I pull out the dark Face palette, you know, again, not really, don't want to break anything here, not really too many similarities going on. That's just in my opinion. Now, I was wondering if maybe there would also be shades pulled from the bronze palette. So this is the bronzed palette. This is newer to my collection, so I actually haven't used this too much. Going to show you the light palette compared to the bronze. And again, no crossover shades. And then we have the dark palette. Now, these two right here are the only ones really to me that look kind of similar, you know? And that's pretty much it. So I'm, again, glad that she didn't cross over shades. I thought that was a really smart move of her, because then that makes people want to buy these even more and then buy them, you know, like both of them versus just buying one, because there's no shared shades. So overall, I would say that I really do like these palettes. If you're looking for something to kind of just take on the go with you, you know, maybe if you travel a lot, or if you stay the night at someone's house, like a boyfriend's house or your friend's house or something, and you kind of have, or you kind of want to have just, you know, the all-in-one type of palette, these are definitely a really good deal, I think. I don't travel too often, but when I do, I usually like to have things that are more just like all together versus having to put like a bunch of stuff in my makeup bag, because it's easier to have an all-in-one palette. But then also, like, the risk you take with that too is like, what if it breaks, like the whole entire palette, and then you're literally just out of luck. SOL, shit out of luck, you know, because everything is broken. But I always take my makeup never in my suitcase. I always carry it on. So I feel like with me, there's less risk of breakage because I'm very careful about my makeup. But I mean, I really like these palettes. I don't regret them. I think that, you know, they blend really easily. They go on very smoothly. They look nice. They're not patchy. The shimmer metallic shades are amazing. The only thing that like really annoys me about shades like that is that I either have to go in with my finger or mix it with a mixing medium. Like, I use the one from Mayron, I think, but the Makeup by Mario one's really good too. But that's the only thing that gets me with these shades, unless I'm just like using the wrong kind of brushes. But I have a lot of makeup brushes, and I always have issues with shades like this applying it with just like a normal brush. So I usually just go in with my pinky or my ring finger and just boop right on there, again, or I will scrape some of it off from the top, which always hurts me, especially my Pat McGrath palettes. I'll scrape a little bit off the top and mix it with a mixing medium and then go in. But I overall, again, really like these palettes. I would rate them probably like a 9 out of 10. The only thing that throws me off again is just the texture of the blush. I just think it's like, it's not a bad formula, it's just very unique, and I think it's a little bit not too challenging to work with. But I definitely think that if you're a beginner at makeup, this is going to throw you off, because you're probably gonna be like, oh, how do I use this? Like, this is so weird. Because I, again, thought it was a cream blush, but then it's not. It's kind of like more cream powder hybrid, which is such an odd formula. I've never really tried that. I have tried, you know, a lot of the cream blushes I have, like the Tower 28 one is more of a drier formula, but it's still a cream blush, you know? So I don't know. That was the only thing that just kind of threw me off. But besides that, I really did like these palettes. I thought they were beautiful. I thought the color stories for both of them were really well done. I like that it's more of a basic palette, because that means that, you know, it's good for every day. A lot of people can wear them. I would say, again, kind of beginner friendly, but you just got to watch out for that blush formula, because that's the only thing that's a little bit weird. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was like a little bit informative, also like showing you comparisons and telling you that these shades really are not pulled from any of her other palettes before that she has done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, do the whole shebang, or not, that's cool too. I am so excited to see you guys in the next one, and I love you so much.